The key is that you need to have more than just one. So what I've tried to do is allude to the fact that you sit somewhere on that spectrum. And sometimes that's really good, and sometimes it's not. So sometimes what I'm hoping at the end of this is you can think about where do you sit on various spectrums, what models are starting to have an impact on you, and are they appropriate? Are they giving you what you want? Because if you have a very small selection of mental models, it's a bit like having a very small toolbox. And if everything looks like a nail, everything starts to look like a nail if all you've got is a hammer. And what I like to do is sort of think about things that people traditionally hold up as sort of values and go, right, yeah, I agree, but it's more nuanced than that, okay? So something like in an organization like this, I was trying to think of something that would suit you. But determination, okay, is really key, right? It's a really important element. It's a really important value, okay, in order to survive in an organization like this, right? You've got to be determined to get the job done. You've got to be determined to get through training, and then you've got to be determined in order to do the job of soldiering. Technology has changed a lot, but it hasn't really changed the fact that people need to be able to carry heavy stuff and shoot at each other. That still hasn't changed a huge amount. So we value determination and we encourage it. But the trouble with determination, or the downside of it, is that it exposes you to something called the sunk cost fallacy. So this is an example of like, right, you go along to see a movie, this is rubbish. But you're like, yeah, but I'm not leaving because I've spent money on it, okay? When I talk at events in London, I've done them for free, and you maybe get 10% of the people turn up. But if you apply the sunk cost fallacy and you go, I'll just charge them £30 notionally, attendance shoots through the roof, okay? And the reason being is because it's not about coming to hear me speak, it's that they don't want to lose the £30, and that's what gets them in the room. So that's the sort of downside of determination, that you can be exposed to the sunk cost fallacy. Now, in the cinema, this really doesn't matter. It really, a couple of hours of your time, it's irrelevant. In organizations, in governments, in various places, this can take us to a really bad place. So there's a brilliant documentary on Robert McNamara called The Fog of War. And in it, he briefly mentions that by 1968, he believed that the war in Vietnam was unwinnable, okay? I don't think we can get an outcome that we're looking for here. And the Americans pulled out in 75. 57,000 dead. And the architect of the Vietnam War said at early doors, I don't think we can win this. And so he was shipped out to the World Bank. This is the sunk cost fallacy. Just want you to think about that. We lost around 500 in Afghanistan, and that was a significant campaign. 57,000. That's a hell of a lot of people coming home. And that is all. Again, it is a simplistic view to say that the sunk cost fallacy is entirely responsible. There are lots of things, but that is a large part of it. So once we've started losing people, we will throw good money after bad in order to make sure that we get an outcome. And it's very, very dangerous. Humans are averse to loss. So in Vietnam, maybe we lost 1,000, and maybe that was a good time to cut our losses and walk away. We're not very good at that. We don't like losing stuff, okay? And this is everywhere. You just need to have your eyes open to how it's used against you.